I'm here with Ms. Lumpkins, and we are on task standard 6, and we're discussing assessment.
All right. Well, I'm glad to see you back. You were not feeling so good during the spring break, so.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. I had a little cold, slight cold that took me down under, but I'm doing much better. I was able to start my lessons off with seeing where my students are and what I need to do to move forward. So I wanted to create assessments that will align to the lesson and then an objective, and making sure that my kids were able to understand the process of creating data graphs.
Okay, so when you did your summative assessment, did you use the evidence to figure out that you needed to reteach anything, or did you use it just to go ahead and move forward with your project-based assessment?
I used the evidence from the assignments that I gave the substitute and the assignments that I had prior to that week of me being off.
Right.
And I saw that a few of the kids were still having issues or not understanding certain concepts about the data, especially when you use like sentences like more than and what would you do.
Yes, I noticed that too. Yeah.
So they had an issue.
They have an issue with that more than, and they're not sure what procedure to do with that most of the time. And the questioning is difficult for them to pick up when it's not, when they haven't heard us say it that much. So I would suggest that we start saying it a little bit more, even when we move on to other objectives and standards. All right, did you communicate with the parents about any of the data that they might work on, so that when you were able to do the lesson the next day?
Yeah, so when parents came to pick up their child after school, I would tell them, listen, so-and-so had a problem with this data graph, or graphing this, and I need you to help them. And the parents were very receptive to my suggestions, and they were willing to help.
Okay, so after they helped you get that point across, so that way you were able to do your project the next day. Tell me, how did that go?
So the project was based, so what they had was concrete, they had concrete little objects in front of them that allowed them to, it was M&Ms, and I wanted them to create a graph with how many M&Ms. I put random M&Ms in different bags, and I just had them choose the bag, and then they would just create their graph. I told them what to do, and it was some questions that they had to answer after they graphed their M&Ms.
Okay, did you bring in any other skills with it, like addition or categorizing, as far as with this? Okay, so they were able to apply those skills to the M&M project.
Not only was it addition, it was also subtraction, because it was like if you subtract one color from another, what would you get? So they had all 3 skills.
They had 3 skills to go with it. That was excellent. That was very good. Are you going to include any of these assessments in their portfolio, or is this something just for you to see?
This is going to be in their portfolio. Everything that they do in here that's profound, that I believe that's a good lesson, I would 4 minutes. I would 3 minutes. Okay, thank you. I would I put in a portfolio.
Okay. All right. Tell me, how did you feel about the project as it was going along?
I enjoyed the project. One of my students who had behavioral issues outside of the classroom, he enjoyed it, and he really grasped the concept of the lesson in the project. So I really felt confident in the little boy, knowing that doing the assessment, that he would be able to do 80% above, which he did. Yes. So
have you noticed that they like more hands-on things with their learning, or they're more of a visual, auditory? So did they like the kinesthetics a little bit more?
4 minutes. Okay, so they enjoyed the tactile part of lessons. They like to touch things, and some of my kids are very, very fidgety. Those kids who are fidgety, who can't stay in their seat, who likes to play with crayons and pencils, they are more tactile learners.
They were more focused. Okay, that was good. Would you start each lesson with a formative assessment, or would you try to do just a KWL chart the next time, or how would you do the next one?
Sometimes I do KWL charts. I majorly do KWL charts in my reading assignments.
Okay, well, I like to say the lesson was very well done, and I appreciate you, and I am glad that you chose me as your mentor.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lumpkins. I appreciate you.